I might be insane. I'm not claiming that. Okay? But people say the definition of insanity is going about doing the same routine over and over again, expecting a different result. Okay. So, for an example, in order to get on the other side of a brick wall, you keep running into it, expecting something different to happen by continuing to run headlong into a brick wall. Okay? That's what people say the definition of insanity is. Now, the reason why I joked and quipped and said I must be insane, because I keep going into MCU films expecting a different outcome. Expecting something serious, something with gravitas post Endgame, and not expecting brainlessness. The MCU bus keeps pulling in front of me, bidding me to come aboard, and I keep doing it, expecting to not go to the same location. In case you're not aware, this is my review. Spoiler. My spoiler review for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, I said when I saw the second trailer, I'm only watching this movie for Jonathan Majors' portrayal of Kang the Conqueror. Okay? That wasn't enough. It wasn't that good. His portrayal of Kang the Conqueror was brainless. Now, I'm not. Let me backtrack. Jonathan Majors was not brainless, but his character was, for some reason. Okay. I want to keep my thoughts together. I don't have any notes. I'm fresh off of coming back from the theater. Okay. So let me just try to give an overview of the film and try to highlight what I thought was so terrible about this movie. Okay. And I'll give it a grade at the end. Okay, the movie starts kind of like the trailer. I keep saying Paul Rudd. Scott Lang is walking around San Francisco, high-fiving people, getting discounts on things. He and Hope Van Dyne are kind of enjoying the celebrity that comes with, being Avengers and helping thwart Thanos in Endgame. He wrote a book. I don't remember the name of the book. Hope is running Pim. What is it? I forgot what it was called. The name of the company was like Tim Lang or something. I don't know. Are they married? I don't know if Scott and Hope are married. I don't remember or know or care. But unlike the trailer, it kind of gives you a false narrative that. Well, hold on. Let me. All right. Like I said, the trailer kind of lets you know exactly where the movie is going. All right. Like I said, celebrity that Hope Van Dyne and Scott Lang are enjoying. Cassie comes out of jail. She didn't really commit a crime. It was a peaceful protest, and she shrunk a cop car with the disc or whatever. So it wasn't like she was a juvenile delinquent. Okay, so I was misled there. So she says, I built a beacon that can send a signal to the quantum realm, just like in the trailer. And then Janet Van Dyne, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, says, no, don't do it. And they're like, why? Now, she turned it on for a little bit, and then she said, stop, turn it off. So they turn it off. So then a signal emanates from the beacon, from the quantum realm, and that's what sucks them all in. Okay. That's when things get wacky. The scenery becomes bizarre. Some good CGI here. I like the landscapes, the environment. Was I immersed? I may have been. I don't remember. But it's not real, so I don't think it successfully suspended my belief. You know what I mean? I don't think it successfully did that. I knew I was watching the movie. I knew this isn't a real environment. You know what I mean? So it was never like, oh, that looks like you could. Like she touched something. Like later on in the movie, like a big old creature, and her hand didn't look like it was really on it. Instead, like something lit up, so I guess to hide the lack of shadow and depth. Whatever, it was alright. Things happen. I don't know why Bill Murray was in this movie. His character is named Krylar. Well, I know why Bill Murray was in the movie. Star power, a face in the trailer, and a paycheck. Okay, star power, face in the trailer, and a paycheck. He's in the movie for about maybe 5 minutes, and he was in the trailer. No reason for him to be in this movie. Okay. They keep the menace of Kang in the first act is very good. It's done very well because people keep saying, "Oh, you've annoyed him. You've upset him. Oh, he's coming." Who? The Conqueror. And you know it was Kang. Okay. So they do a good job in building up this menace. Act 2 is when you're introduced to Kang. Okay. Scott and Cassie are kidnapped by a mechanized organism designed only for killing, MODOK. I believe in the comic books it was originally mental organism, but they call it a mechanized organism. That's okay. And MODOK turned out to be Darren from Ant-Man. Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man. The bald-headed guy who used to work for Film Technologies, whatever. And he was like crushed, I think. I don't remember the first Ant-Man. I remember the first Ant-Man was enjoyable and I liked it and I watched it several times. It was a good movie. He somehow became MODOK. He said that he found me and remade me. And MODOK's introduction is kind of decent. You know, he's like blowing up this like organic building and like he's a problem at the beginning. And that's usually where the MCU loses it with decent characters. They give them a good introduction, and then they pull back and say, you know what? This is a kid-friendly movie. We don't want them to be too scary. We don't want them to be too menacing for the kids. So let's make them like a joke. And that's what they do with MODOK. MODOK's a joke. Boo for MODOK. Okay. I wasn't too offended by his face. You know, a lot of people said it was terrible. It was all right. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely a human face. You know, so it's not really like. I mean, it is CGI, but yeah, I don't. It was all right. Okay. And he was a threat, but it's like when the mask will go up or when he's talking to somebody, it's like joke. Same thing with Kang. It's like when you're, like I said, the first act built up his menace. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer's character saying, "There's things I didn't tell you about him or whatever," and then she goes into the story about how she encountered him and he built this. He was basically trapped in the quantum realm, and he postured himself as like a explorer at first. Then she said he had something called neurotechnology, something like that. So it is governed by his willpower. Okay, so when she touched it, she saw who he really was, and he was a monster. Okay, and so she stopped him from escaping the quantum realm because neither time nor space has the rules of time and space don't apply to the quantum realm. So that's kind of how they sort of nerf him a little bit to make Ant-Man a viable contender to Kang the Conqueror. All right. So she blows up his matrix that powers his ship. Okay, that would have got him out of the quantum realm. Okay. So she talks about how he's this monster. She saw all the worlds he conquered. And when Kang is introduced, he says that he needs PEM particles to power the core, like I told you about. That is kind of future tech, you know what I mean? That's kind of governed by his mind or whatever. So that's why he needs PEM particles. That's why he needs Scott Lang. All right. Now, I don't remember if some of the lines from the trailer are actually in the movie. You know, like I can give you the one thing you've lost, time. I don't think that's in the movie. All right. I think it's just in the trailer. So it's not really a negotiation. Basically, he says, if you don't give me a PEM particle, I'm going to kill Cassie. That's what he said. So it's a little deceptive in the trailer. It's like, it's almost as if Scott is saying, well, I need time back with my daughter Cassie, because I missed so much time with her. So the trailer gives a false narrative or whatever. It's really, he's forced to do this. And so Scott, he goes to where the core was kind of like blown up, So it's like, it's huge, but it's like in pieces. So he needs to use his little discs to like bring it all back together again, I think. Something like that. So it exploded without like turning into energy, just like all in pieces. So I guess making it smaller, put it back together. I don't know. Now, when it's brought back together, for some reason, Kang's brain leaves his body. And instead of immediately leaving inside of his ship, the one that he came in, he says, my entire dynasty is going with me. I'm like, really? Why? Why? Like, how are you really going to get this entire dynasty? Like, Kang has an entire, like, civilization. How are you really going to get this whole thing out through that one ship? Remember, this orb was the core for his one ship. So how is the ship going to, like, integrate into this vast complex and take it all out of there? It just doesn't make any sense to me, okay? And long story short, or I'm trying here to like get my thoughts together, but MODOK is a joke. Like the D word is thrown around, and Cassie's like, she beats MODOK. Cassie that has no fight experience, she beats his Kang's guards. There's this like warrior princess Jintora or whatever. She's like OP for no reason. A lot of strange characters, which, you know, I don't object to. Of course, the CGI character gets destroyed. Of course, you know, the warrior princess is like a survivor, of course. And like I said, I really did just come out of the theater. So I'm still trying to like remember what's going on or whatever. I just remember. Okay, wait. Let me finish the story. Okay. So Kang has the orb. It's taking eons for this ship, for this whole complex to like pull apart. Remember in Austin Powers, repair the unnecessarily slow-moving dipping mechanism. These bridges are like retracting at like the speed of a snail. And they keep calling it a tower, but it's not a tower. It's like gyroscopic rings, and it's not even a tower. But whatever, they call it a tower. So it's taken forever for this complex to take off. And again, it's like a building. Like, how is it going to take off? I don't get it. So that's when the fight happens. Hank Pym, the entire movie, like when they're in a quantum room, keeps going. And I'm thinking to myself, when I first saw it, I said, he has a hearing aid? I was like, what is he listening to? So he says, you know, Michael Douglas, you know, he's like, I discovered ants here in the quantum realm, because some of them came into the they were sucked into the quantum realm when everybody else was sucked into the quantum realm from the real world. Okay, so he said like 1,000 years, they aged like 1,000 years in a day, became super smart ants. So they're like rebuilding a ship. So basically these super smart ants, along with the warrior princess and these inhabitants of the quantum realm, are launching a revolt against Kang. Okay. Kang is like zapping people. He's like selectively obliterating folks. He doesn't obliterate anybody important, of course. I mean, he's just walking up, just going because he's like upset about something. Oh, okay, right. Because the core, the light went off. Listen to this. The light in the core that was supposed to get him out of here went out. So he just assumed, I guess, that it didn't work anymore. So he goes out to just vent his rage. And again, he's supposed to be brilliant. He never bothers to see if he can get a charge out of it or anything. So Michelle Pfeiffer was kidnapped by him earlier. Because, whatever. So she's still inside of his citadel. And she gets the core online again. I'm like, wait a minute. Janet Van Dyne got the core back online again. The lights conveniently came back on for her. But they didn't come on for Kang. So she... I'm telling you, it gets brainless. Menacing introduction to Kang, but brainless. So then Kang is like, has like a shield up, and for some reason people are able to like punch through the shield that he has up. Sorry. After MODOK gets defeated by Cassie somehow, he decides he's going to be a good guy. So he slams headlong into the shield, and his big old face manages to break through Kang's shield. How? So then that breaks the shield. So then the ants overrun Kang, and it's so dumb. And they disable his armor. So now he's just a guy in a suit. So that's when he and Ant-Man have the fight. Cassie, Hank Pym, and Janet Van Dyne go back to, and Hope Van Dyne go back to the quantum realm. I mean, no. I'm sorry, to go back to the real world. And Scott, he pushes Cassie through the portal because he sees Kang coming or something. So then they have a fight. That's when he says, I don't have to win. We both just have to lose or whatever. So several times, Kang makes a mad dash to try to jump through the portal. Then he's repelled because Hope came back through the portal. And she's like hitting him with her stinger blast. And Kang gets repelled into the damaged core. And he gets sucked in, and he loses. Did you hear what I said, folks? He gets repelled into the destroyed core, okay? Remember the thing he's been trying to, like, get for the entire movie? He gets sucked in, like, ah! And he, like, disappears inside. It's almost like Jumanji, like the same graphics of Jumanji, when everything goes back into back into the game. It's like that. Like, okay, it's over. We won. Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Cassie, and the original Ant-Man, Hank Pym, and the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, along with the Warrior Princess, and the weirdos of the Quantum Realm, and the Super Ants, defeat Kang the Conqueror. The big bad of Marvel's Phase 5 and 6 is defeated his first time out. This is how you introduce what Kevin Feige called him in the featurette, Kang the Conqueror, the next iconic villain after Thanos. This is how you introduce him. By losing to Ant-Man! So now I'm supposed to take this clown seriously for the rest of the phase? Okay, and there are two end-credit scenes. There's one mid-credit scene and there's one post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene is the stupidest thing I may have seen. S-E-E-N. The stupidest thing I've seen, S-E-E-N, is the mid-credit scene, S-C-E-N-E. Okay. All these Kangs with terrible accents, stupid outfits, are talking about the exiled one that just got beat by the Ant-Man and the Wasps. Ant-Man and the Wasps, and Cassie. They're like, yeah, he just died. So let's all gather. So now there's like a auditorium of like thousands of Kang the Conquerors acting like an asylum. None of them should be taken seriously. They all look like inmates at an asylum. And one of them is supposed to be like Immortus, the one with like that's in blackface for some reason. For some reason, he's in blackface. I don't know why. There's another one that's supposed to be Rama Tut. He has like a openly like Egyptian Sphinx outfit on. A pharaoh outfit on. And there's another one where he kind of looks like a futuristic type person. This is dumb. This is really stupid. And then the end credit scene, which is hard to see at first because one of the people that working at the movie theater decided to turn the lights on, so we could barely see what was going on. So then they turned it off, so we could like finish the rest of the stupid theater. So it's another version of Kang in like the 1800s, talking about time, with a terrible wig and an awful mustache. And in the audience is Loki and Owen Wilson's character, Mobius, from the Loki series, season 1. So I guess that's going to lead into Loki series 2, season 2. And that's the movie. They disrespected MODOK, made him a clown joke. They disrespect Kang by losing to Ant-Man and Wasps and Cassie. His first time out. Kang the Conqueror, okay? He was uniquely the Conqueror. He was the one that was exiled by the other Kangs because he took over all these places. Kang the Conqueror just lost. Kang the Conqueror's done. Did you hear what I said, folks? Kang the Conqueror lost his first time out. And I was just stupefied sitting in the theater like, Kang the Conqueror just lost to Ant-Man. Kang the Conqueror, and I kept repeating it in my mind. Kang the Conqueror, the Thanos after Thanos. Remember I said it here first. Forget that, because this guy ain't Thanos. The Thanos after Thanos lost his first time out. And he's done. Kang the Conqueror is gone. So now we gotta deal with his variants. You talk about taking the wind out of someone's sail. Phase 5 has just dropped off my radar. Just dropped off. Kang, I don't care to see anymore. After this performance, I do not want to see season 2 of Loki. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see Avengers Kang Dynasty. I don't want to see them. Will I see them? Probably. But I have no expectations for Marvel's Phase 5 anymore, except probably Secret Invasion and like, I think Captain America New World Order. But anything involving Kang, I have no excitement for it. At all. Zero excitement. So let me cut this short, because I'm about to go live. For a grade, as I said, the first 2 acts were okay. The third act was garbage. I'm gonna have to give this movie a C. C for crap. I mean, C is an average grade. This is a very average movie. It's a typical MCU, like, fest of like colors and brightness, and none of your heroes being in any mortal danger. But it's a C. And a C might as well be a W. From A to F, a C might as well be a F, okay? I can't believe I paid money to watch this. I can't believe the way they treated the alleged big bad after Thanos. This is really what you came up with. Kang the Conqueror losing to Ant-Man and the Wasps and Cassie. Shame on you, Kevin Feige. Shame on you. Shame. This has been The Great Expanse by John Bat 426. I would say don't waste your money on this thing, but it's up to you. It really is. If you like my review, hit the like button. If not, write a dissertation if you vehemently disagree with my assessment of this movie. David Brent, please let them know where the comments go, please. That's where they go. And let's do our part. Let's get The Great Expanse by John Bat 426. Living up to its name and expanding. It's in the name. Adios, muchachos. Kang the Conqueror. I don't want to see you ever again in movies. Sorry, Jonathan. Thought this was going to be your breakout role, but I guess Creed 3 will have to do it, because Kang the Conqueror sucks.